and just do this shit anyway.
Yes.
And yeah, we're probably live right now, which, if you're out here, hello, YouTube world. And I'll see if I could pull this up on here so that way we can kind of follow along. But we're all here just we're talking. And me and Kari have been sitting around talking about connection.
Yeah.
You were telling me about watching her channel and watching these things. And I think the way you said it was really beautiful, but I want to make sure that I bring it out here because Lee and Sherry don't want you to look up to us. We want you to look into us because that is connection.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen so much where we're looking up and looking out and we're looking, it's the higher self mentality, but not the inner self experience.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be connected if you're not connected to you inside. So,
not.
Right?
Agreed.
So what you were saying though, I kind of want to understand when you found us or when you found this channel, what did you find?
Oh man.
Anybody who's watching, you guys could share too. I'm going to get on that here in a second.
So I think the main thing that I found was I really hadn't been going within as much as I thought I had. I really had been, I'd always considered myself pretty introspective. I'd always, because, something happens in my life and, I would go, okay, well, what role did I play and how, how did I participate? And okay, how can I be better? How can I better myself from the situation? So I've always done that. But when I found you two and you were talking about, just how deep within yourselves you two had to go to come into union, not just with each other, but literally with yourselves. I was like, my mind was blown. I'm like, what have I been doing all this time? What have I not been doing all this time is really the real question, And I realized that I had not been listening to what was inside, but certainly what was in my head. I'd been, letting the ego, guide some of my decisions and not letting in here guide the decisions.
All right. Finally, after all of this, it's time to answer what is ego, right?
Yes. That's and I still think I know completely.
It is, it's all thought relative. That's kind of what you really have to look. Here's what we found in our connection, right? The deeper we got into what we were feeling, the more that we thought about that feeling kind of shredded away.
Yeah.
What that means is all thought is really kind of keeping you from the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you know it or not, whether we can explain it or not. I mean, I can go, feeling connection isn't the same as thinking connection now, is it?
Oh, no, not at all.
And when you have this feeling, because people find this connection, they experience this feeling. This intensity is what they call it. They call it intensity.
Mm-hmm.
That is the mind's descriptive way of explaining the present moment.
Yep.
Because your mind doesn't let you have it all that often.
No, almost never.
Now, if you play what I just said over and over again in an infinite loop, that would be ego.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's not that you can't be trained or connected to it in a way where you can start to really see and evolve away from it. But we're all living in a world where we're all counting on ego to keep us living, when literally that hasn't been living at all.
Not at all. Mm-mm.
I want somebody to connect to how I feel. We've created this channel so people could see what connection really is on the inside. Not what it is and what you think is going to be written down on a checklist somewhere from far beyond, which has nothing to do with connection at all. It just points to what it could be.
Yeah.
We fell in love inside of our connection. And you'll fall in love the deeper you go inside of connection into yourself. Yep. It's what you're looking for. It's a never-ending connection to love, right?
Yep.
But you don't have it in you yet. So why would you let somebody else give it to you?
Yeah, it's almost impossible to let that happen. Yeah.
And it's not that it's impossible. It's that you can't see what is possible.
Mm.
Because when did your thinking ever make what you really feel in connection possible?
Ugh. It held me back from it. That's
right. So we got some people in here. All right. Let's see. We got Elmo. Hey, Elmo. If you want to jump in, Elmo, I think you have the link. Allison, if you wanted to come in and say, hey, well, you can't stay on live, but want to say hello. Nathan, Elliot, wow. I ain't seen you in a minute. Taskia, how you doing?
nice.
Let's see. I like Nathan brought up pain. Pain has a confusing teaching method. Often we get the test first, then the lesson afterwards. The funny thing about pain. Oh, hi.
Oh, funny. That's my child. Say hi, Nova.
Taking those.
I know.
I'm not going on live, but I'm going to walk past as I see. No, that's presence, right? That's presence. The energy came in.
Yeah.
Pain is how we created presence.
Man.
We want pain to not be the teacher that it is.
Yeah.
We want pain to be something very easy to get through. Actually, we want pain to be what everybody makes pain. We all run from our pain, and that's the one thing we are connected to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's nothing creative about that at all. And pain is nothing more than creative energy. So the things that you run away from because of your story come from a story of pain.
Yeah.
It's creative, right? A mother goes into her experience of bringing a child into the world by going into pain, not away from it.
Yeah.
So when did we as human beings decide that pain is something we all need to run from?
I can't say when, but I mean, it's certainly just what we've been taught to do. We've been taught to just like I've heard in your videos, like you've been saying, we're taught to not go into our feelings and to just not, I wouldn't say deny them necessarily, but just not to talk about them, not to acknowledge them, not to, not to heal them, not to heal those wounds.
Well, let's talk about what healing is when it comes to pain. Is it possible to heal anything without your pain?
Nope.
So ask a genuine question when you meet somebody. So I see that you've gone through a lot in your life and had experienced a lot of hurt, because people tell a story of hurt, but they never tell a story about healing. You ever notice that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we wanted to create a space where you would find a story, or at least find a place where you could hear a story of how hurt turned into healing, how connection could be happening in a way that disconnects felt to the side, right? Yeah. You don't understand it because you don't let yourself experience it.
Yeah.
You believe that the person that you're connected to is going to give you the healing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to give you more hurt because you're not choosing the healing.
Yep.
And it sucks.
It does.
But in a very beautiful way, that's very profound, because the same person who would go into your hurt when you came here, you're connected to, you kind of believe that's this other person and not yourself.
Yeah.
Truth is, you've got to be that to yourself first, don't you?
Yes, you do. Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's see what kind of questions we got out here.
Yeah, I'm gonna put his cartoons on so he doesn't keep making his.
Oh no, that's cool. That's cool. I just saw your interview. Oh, Deep Diver, hi, how are you? Deep Diver, welcome to the channel. Caitlin, agree completely. Thank you. I'd like to know what financial debt has to do with the connection. I have someone, I need to sort it out. T knows, but I don't talk about it. Okay, let's talk about financial debt. Well, let's just talk about financials. An energy exchange is what finances can give you. But it depends on what you really see your confidence as, what you see your level of acceptance when it comes to survival. Finances are nothing more than survival. And nobody really survives finances. Even if you have material wealth, you're still not surviving what finances have really done to you. You may have material gain, but when did material gain say absolute worth, absolute connection. None of it connects you to yourself.
Mm-mm.
But if you are connected to yourself, you can see the difference in it. Like when I look over my childhood, I lived with a single parent who struggled financially. Those impacts last on in you, and connection. Don't get twisted and believe that it has anything to do with the economy and the bullshit that the world shows you. It has everything to do with what you learned as a child when it came to what finances meant to you, is what you saw in the struggle in your parents. Their struggles are yours. If you're not connected there, where are you connected? So if you're looking at the path of connection and all connections, the things that you struggle with the most are the things that they struggled with, and then their history struggled with. And then your generations down, all you're doing is looking at what's ever been connected to you isn't connected to you now. Well, that's bullshit. You can choose that now, right? You can feel it on the inside. You go, you know what? I can change how I experience finance. My relationship with money is not my connection with myself.
Nope.
Until it is.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah.
You can actually connect yourself to anything in the world of form, anything that matters to you. But when you don't matter to yourself, what do you think you're going to attract?
I mean,
Well, yeah, that's for everybody listening.
Yeah.
As much as you're sitting there, you probably go, what is money? Nothing more than energy. It doesn't dictate to you your self-worth.
Nope.
It doesn't dictate to you the present moment. But if you start thinking past and future, don't worry, money's going to make you suffer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well,
there's no getting around it. Until you know that you can accept that, you can't change it.
Yeah, it's true.
Let's see. So hopefully that answered your question, AP. Yes, Lee, very well said. Good to see you. Good to see you, Nathan. Let's see. Pain makes us stronger. Pain makes you vulnerable. And if you believe vulnerability is a strength, then you are absolutely spot on. Vulnerability is the key. Vulnerability is the key in this connection. Come here, Gemma. Come here.
Oh, Gemma.
Vulnerability. Gemma. I'm so sorry. We can probably entertain them. Gemma. Mike, is that you making all that noise? Hey, calm it down. Big Mike is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi.
Is there somebody in the driveway, buddy? Let's go see who it is. So that way I can, because there's nobody here but me and the dogs. You keep them entertained, Carrie.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So, hey, everybody. This is literally my first live YouTube ever. So I'm a little nervous, so I probably won't say a whole lot, but hello. I'm sure you guys love Lee and Sherry just as much as I do. They, over the past several months, have really helped me see just how truly disconnected from myself I actually was. And I'm going to start my coaching with them, which I'm really, really excited about. And if any of you have done root camp, hey, let me know, because I'm going to go through that. And I'm also really looking forward to it. I don't know how many of those videos, how many other videos you've watched, but they're absolutely amazing. Talk about somebody spitting the truth, man. Lee is absolutely incredible. So if you're saying anything in the comments, I can't actually see you. I'll have to rely on Lee to read me back what you guys say. So, but I hope you all are enjoying your weekend so far. It's gorgeous where I am. I'm in Kansas City. So if anybody's in Kansas City, feel free. I'll try to ask Lee to leave my information at the bottom if you want to contact me and talk connection. I would absolutely love it. So yeah, hope everybody's enjoying their morning thus far. I certainly am. Talking with Lee is like I mean, watching videos was somewhat life-changing, but having an actual conversation with him is on a whole nother level for me. So
thank you. That was a delivery that needed to be actually somebody picking up something for. There was some things that happened not too far from us where 2 boys got thrown in a river and killed, and they've been searching for them. So we have put some care packages together to help them do that. Actually, that's kind of where Sherry is at the moment. So,
that's so
and it's we don't treat each other like we're connected to each other.
Yeah.
Once you're in this connection, you start to see how many things are disconnected, and a lot more but should be coming forward so you can connect. That should be the way it works, right?
Yeah.
And it's not about what you think you see, it's about what you feel.
What you feel. Yes. Yep. That's something that I've learned about myself, just again watching your videos and reflecting and journaling and all that, is just that I've spent so much time seriously not listening to everything's on the inside and listening to what's going on in my head, and even outside information overload as this is the title of one of the videos. That one that one
I remember that. Man.
Oh yeah, I've watched it.
It was funny when Sherry came up with that. She said, we need to I think what's happening is there's so much information you're looking for, but some of the information you're looking for isn't necessarily, well, let's just call it like it is. You can validate why you're being disconnected from. You can validate why you're being separated from. There's plenty of information out there for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But nobody's validating that you could have it either.
Right. It's so true.
So we wanted to create a space where no matter what, and this is going to be here, it's not locked down and we're not charging for it. This channel and even Relationship Reinvented, which by the way, got some kind of virus or something for the framework for it. So if you don't see this website up, it's being worked on.
Okay. That makes sense.
We figured that out a little too late, but anyway, sometimes, we've been looking up overhauling it, changing it already. I'm trying to get the link just in case anybody wants to join for here. But what we found was there's just not space where we're all saying, come here, you can have this connection. You just got to connect this to you on the inside.
Yeah.
And it's powerful, right? Your gifts and everything that you really want to know, your understanding of astrology, everything that you ever wanted to be able to understand is on the inside of you, not the inside of the connection to the other person, not the other person.
Yeah.
This is Elmo. Hi, Elmo.
Hi, Elmo.
Hello, everybody.
Elmo, if you have the link,
hello,
I'm gonna make you Elmo. I'm gonna make you a moderator here, and you can post the link if people want to join the Zoom, because we could just have a big discussion.
All right.
Let me do that right here.
So I'll copy the invite link and
yeah, you can now moderate for the channel. So you should be able to. I want you to kind of keep an eye. If you see questions on here, I want you to go ahead and pop those up. I'll let you. Is that okay if you control that?
Perfect. Yes.
That works, and I'll give you a couple sessions for doing that. But anyway, we'll talk about that here in a minute. We were talking about what the inside of connection has to give. I look at Sherry, and I can see everything that she fights on the inside, but I could feel everything that's not happening to her too. And that's a big thing, because the woman on the inside who's not sick doesn't have a body that's sick, doesn't have an experience that's sick. She has an experience of just being connected to me and being at peace. You see, that's possible to find in connection.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to already find it in you first.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And some of the struggles that we see, I mean, I think I was talking when it was Deep Diver, was talking about my inner guides tell me not to worry and that I'm under spiritual maintenance, and the uneasiness is to purify me for union. Thoughts are thoughts. Feeling is what this connection is about. So if you're in a deep spiritual space, That's more of a feeling aspect, not a thought one.
Absolutely.
But I think what happens is when our thinking starts getting wrapped up in our spiritualness, it's not spiritual anymore now, is it?
Nope.
But the feeling, I could feel every word that was coming from there, and I felt what's being spoken. My thoughts about it want to wrap itself around what she's thinking about it or what he's thinking. You see what I'm saying? It does a bunch of things to you. Thinking doesn't understand connection, because the first time thinking showed up, you were disconnected from.
Mhm.
What
I'm sorry.
do
Do you want me to say it
actually-
one more time? You want me to say it one more time? I can say it one more time if you want me to say it. The
Yeah.
first time thinking happened to you, disconnected showed up.
Mhm. Yep.
Anybody want to argue this? Because we can.
Nope.
I'll be more than happy to hear all of your experiences and show you still how it disconnected you from everything you feel.
Yep.
And it still continues to. It's a practice.
Yeah, it is.
We're not practicing being present with one another. What are we practicing?
The opposite of that.
Opposite. Yeah, you're
And what would be the opposite of peace? There is no, right? There is no opposite of peace. It's peace or not. If I connect to how you feel, Elmo, I'm going to embrace everything you're feeling, even when your body jerks because of something you haven't acknowledged in yourself. That's connection. Not running from that, not telling yourself a story about that, not letting your mind tell you what I think of what you feel or think about who you are as a person or think about, it's like finances, right? I need to change my financial situation, but I'm going to sit and think about it, and you think that's going to change anything. Change the way you feel about it. If you feel okay being broke, it's very interesting. As soon as you feel okay being broke, you end up making money.
Mhm.
Am I wrong?
That's
Am I
right.
wrong?
No, that's right though.
That's right.
Let's go into that for a minute. If I sit here and go, I'm finally okay with being broke, and I just sit in the feeling of whatever that feeling represents to me, something changes.
Mhm.
And if we would realize that if we sat in our feelings a lot more, we would heal a lot faster.
Mm.
We all wouldn't be running around looking for connection. We would become it.
Maybe. True.
Any questions on the chat there? I don't want you to get too lost in it, Elma. All right. So, oh, cool. So you posted a link. Anybody who does want to come and participate, come on. We'll come in and just talk connection. This is Soul Chat 8.11. I think we came up with that, Carrie, because we were sitting here talking about the coaching certification program. We're talking about, and what we call it is the Transforming Compass coaching, right?
Yep.
Now, the reason we called that is because we had to pay attention to the heart energy that you're going to coach from.
Mm-hmm.
The heart energy of what you see me and Sherry in, right, is a compass.
Yeah.
Because you have a north and a south pole. You have an east and a west.
Right.
And it's beating in unison in all four, in all directions all the time. But you never show up that way if you're up here.
Yep. Fact.
And we had to pay attention to what the heart was saying and what the mind was saying against it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where your soul can step in and start redirecting energy to your heart instead of your head.
Yep.
Does that resonates, right?
Oh, so much.
Really?
So much.
Yes. Yes,
Would
Alma.
the soul be here between the head and the heart?
This has never been the bridge.
Mm.
The bridge is down below the heart.
Mm.
That's what's interesting about it. If your power is down here, right? If you look at chakra system,
Oh, yeah.
it's not aligned the way you think it is. Thinking's the issue. The center happens here. Boom. And all of the electricity goes in both directions. It doesn't come from down here up. You didn't start in this world with a penis, right? You started in this world with a heart. So you got to pay attention to the spark of the heart to understand the compass. Am I wrong?
No, well said. That's just funny.
We all want to think from this region, and we all want to make things up and down, but we're not making things in and out.
No, no.
Connection is in and out. It's not up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Your thinking never connected you to anyone or anything, and it never will. Right? Let me think of how I'm going to get and you can't think into connection.
Yeah.
Thinking got you away from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Lee, so Deep Diver asks, what do you have to say about intuition? He asks his guides if he should reach out to the twin, and they tell him patience, patience.
How often do you abandon your intuition, Deep Diver? How often do you reject your intuition? How often do you accept what you feel? Would you walk into an energy field of a connection that wants to receive and give if you've been rejecting yourself? Here's how it would look, right? Do I reach out to this person I'm connected to is a question that the mind wants to ask, and the feeling is going to show up as either saying, we should have done that already. Your feelings in your body want to be connected to. How have you been at expressing that? How have you been at opening that up? Name one person you're connected to that you open up to right now. Any of you? Elmo's head did this. Kari's head is about to do this. Everybody who's sitting there right now watching the screen is doing this. And they're all looking at me like, how in the fuck do you know that? Because I can feel you doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
I don't need to look. I can close my eyes and tell you how many times I've seen that over the years, and how many times I've connected to that feeling of that causes that, and how many times I've sat in that feeling with somebody only to realize that they're not connected to the part that did this. So if you're not even paying attention, you're doing that, don't worry, the person you're connected to is.
Well, my
And
mind.
they're going to reflect that back to you. Walk towards somebody that you're connected to going, I want to connect to how they feel. And your head's going like this. When you get there, are they going to reject you?
Yeah.
It's predetermined.
Yeah.
Right? Everything I'm telling you here is surface. This is not depth. Depth is what's making you do that. And I love each and every one of you for feeling all of it. And then realizing that that feeling has something better to give you. And better isn't a judgment. Better is an open door.
Agreed.
I believe that, when you want to know what intuition is, there's going to be two things that are going to tell you what intuition is. Whatever the body experiences, and whatever the body has to understand that your mind's doing to that. Because there is a you on the inside that when a thought arises that said, should I reach out? There's a feeling on the inside that wants to. You've already been rejecting that. When are you going to pay attention to that? And how are you healing? How are you healing that? Because you learned to do that. I'm sorry, Elmo.
The feeling before the emotion.
Well done. Feeling always happens and is always ever present. That's your vulnerability. Emotions get created to reject the vulnerability. You feel that, Kari? Right?
Yeah.
And it's not intentional. It's just that's what you were taught to do. Right? We're all taught. Hey, Scott, how you doing, buddy? So we're taught to be in our head about an experience that has nothing really to do with what you feel.
Yeah.
Your feeling shows up as a secondary experience to it. Or at least that's what your thinking has taught you. thinking never really connected you to how you feel. Not even a little.
Not even a little.
And thinking, if you really look at when you fell down and got hurt, there's always somebody running towards you when you were a child. And as you got older, that started to back off into the point where nobody ran towards you when you were hurt for anything. What if we just started running towards each other again when we were hurt? Would you believe that we would actually be able to connect a whole lot better and find a connection such as this a lot faster?
Oh, yeah.
Had we learned that people don't run away from you when you're hurt, they run towards you. Because that's what you were taught when you first got here. You came through that threshold with afterbirth all over you. Somebody cleaned you up. Somebody cut a cord. Somebody put you in somebody's arms after going through a threshold of pain. The only time you'll experience that should not be this whole experience. What's connection without that? How's it going, Scott? So, I can, if you want to unmute, you can unmute yourself. It's up to you. We have any questions out there, Elmo?
No, Deep Diver is pondering the connection between feeling and intuition. And
Let's
he
make
says
sure that let's
feeling
clarify. Hold on a
is
minute.
my intuition.
Is feeling intuition?
Mm.
Yeah, in a way.
How so, Scott?
Well, my thought would be your intuition is when you can sense a feeling and give it meaning.
Mm.
All
Not saying that the
feelings.
meaning's necessarily going to be right in all cases, but I'm just now starting to get in touch with it and still completely lost. But I feel at times that I'll get this feeling and I'll just sit with it and I'll start to understand what it means. I mean, is it, for me, I seem to have a tickle around my face when my intuition's kind of on.
I have found that when I'm in my feeling, anything that wants to judge it, whether it's right or wrong, is no longer feeling. It's calling itself intuition.
Mm.
The feeling will remain there, regardless of whether I accept it or not. Once I found that I can accept everything I feel, even the non-resistance changes what I'm experiencing in connection to myself. I can change the polarity of pull or push. So when I'm in my body feeling, and then my mind comes along and wants to tell me a story about what the feeling is, that's a mistaken intuition. That's nothing more than my mind's interpretation of something it won't feel, nor can it. So the moment I'm looking for right, wrong, I'm no longer in the feeling. I've taken a side and chosen the side that my ego wants me to take, and now I've got an ego against a feeling again. Once I realized that I wasn't connected to myself in that space, I realized that that was doing something to my connection to her. That was disrupted. And it was one of my greatest disconnects because I learned that as a child to my own mother. I learned that as a child to my own father. It was just a replay of a rehash of a replay. The feeling was still very much present. The feeling I had as a child is the same feeling I have now. I'm still a child in here feeling everything. My interpretation level of it wants to convince me that that could be intuition. But when I'm in the feeling, everything around me is very present. And there's no sense of danger until my mind wants to get involved and say, oh, this means that this is happening. What? Where did that come from? And it's going to come from too much past, too much future, not enough presence. Your feeling in your body, your ability to move, how Scott's moving, how Elmo's moving, how you're moving, Kari, how we're all moving, is coming from everything we feel, not everything we think about what we feel. And you can see it. Your head's wanting to do this. And there's a feeling, there's a low level feeling we're all connected to here in this experience with each other right now.
Yeah.
And that can be Intuition. Because we all did this all at the same time, right? When we're doing this,
May I put
and
it into anatomy?
when we're doing this in unison with connection, that should be called intuition. I mean, if you really look, intimacy is into me, see this experience of feeling, and we're sharing it. That should be how we all connect. How you feel, Kari, how Elmo feels, how Scott feels is very important to what I'm feeling. That's why I'm sharing what I feel, not what I think about what I feel, which is going to be a complete disaster. It's always going to be a disaster because the mind doesn't feel anything. You are not your mind. And in this connection, this one connection that finds you on this planet, it really shows you in a very deep, dark way that you have never been your mind to begin with. And it doesn't hold back any punches, does it? It's like, oh yeah, fuck your story. You're repeating your story. Your story's repeating you. And the feeling that you're left with is that nobody wants to connect to that feeling in you. What if you're wrong? This feeling you have in your body matters. Everything you feel matters. Your thinking never will teach you that.
Lee, may I ask a quick question, and then I'm going to mute myself because I'm going to start popping here in a second.
Okay. Yeah.
I have a popcorn shop. I'm making popcorn. So,
yes. Awesome.
The question amazing. I have is, as you're talking, I have just my gut's just churning deep.
Oh.
I've met a woman who's 27 years younger than me. I walked in, I saw her aura around her. I kept my distance from her because she just had a baby with a gentleman and all was good, and I just let it go. And then next thing I know, she's breaking up and we're getting along, and we've never had more than a hug, and it's just gone nuts. And I've heard you say one time on one of K Moon's things, don't lose the connection. And I've reached out a couple of times and it's just gone cold and dead since then. And I'm just lost, and I'm going to listen to you while I go take care of this.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm going to feel everything that Scott said. Scott is looking for a space. Now, Scott has already thrown a monkey wrench from his mind already into the feeling. The monkey wrench, 27 years, just went in there and disrupted the connection, right?
Yep.
If he goes back to the feeling of the connection and doesn't look for age,
yep.
doesn't look for time, he can reconnect. The bigger question would be, Scott, how did you connect to your mom? And how old was she when she had you? Because the 27 or the age difference or whatever the difference was in there is a disruptive energy that told him that he got disconnected from based on something having to do with time. Whether or not it's age or whether it's something that happened to him over a period of time is where he's got to look, because he knows how to disconnect himself from. Yes, I saw that, Carrie. You see, it's almost like you can feel it still. You can feel what he said, and he thinks it's her. The thought pattern is going to be, oh, it went cold. I mean, she did this, but she's there and she had this. So he put a whole bunch of things in that space. Yeah. So the question would be, Scott, how do you stay connected to a woman you're connected to, regardless of her choices and regardless of your own?
Okay, I'm back real quick. Sorry about that. I'll start with the mother question. My mother is 30 some years older than me, and I am her caretaker full time as well. And
transferring. Hold on, Scott. I want you to hear this. Okay. I want you to hear this. Mute it for a second so you can hear this. Scott just told us he's been caretaking a woman 30 years his senior, who he's deeply connected to, and he's used to taking care of a woman who's older. Now here comes a connection for a woman who's almost 30 years younger, and he's looking for her to take care of him as a passing chain in connection. Because at some point, how has Scott received love from his mother since caretaking from her? Who is replacing the love he's getting or used to get from her 30 years prior? So if you look, it's an alternative to what he's experiencing in connection. He's taking care of someone he's connected to who's older. In reverse, Scott has now had to replace the love that he used to receive from who he's caring for. And here comes his twin, 27 years younger, feminine energy, connecting to a child in him who is no longer receiving it from the woman he's taking care of. So there's a missing space there. So how is Scott giving himself love so he doesn't put that on the woman below? Not below from the standpoint of age, but below from the standpoint of he's caretaking for one, which means he's receiving love from the woman he's caretaking from. How? How are you receiving love from your mother while caretaking for her, Scott?
I don't know how to answer that.
Your head shook no. Pay attention to the head that shook no. How are you connected to the feeling inside of what made your head go like that? That's where you will heal what you're experiencing in this time lapse. This is about how you feel about your mother and her love coming back to you. How old were you the first time you received love from your mother will be your deeper question. What were you told about the day you were born?
That I had complications and they.
Did you feel your head shake? No. So you weren't where you wanted the day you were born, according to you. I don't know, but your head shook no. Did you see that? Okay. So in you, there's a feeling that feels empty. But here's what you know for sure. I might have been a sickly baby. I'm here now taking care of my mother. So some things, according to connection, connected you to yourself. Because the day you were born, did mom fall in love with you?
I don't know. I'm going to say we were separated.
Hold on. You were separated. So mom, you got put in somebody else's hands, or did mom ever get to fall in love with her newborn child?
No, I was whisked off to some special unit.
So you're saying that the woman you're connected from had issues with you and you lost connection to her the day you were born? And you're wondering why you are doing this and repeating this with your twin? Makes sense.
Okay.
Do you trust that a woman you're connected to will choose you, Scott?
Yeah, I do actually.
Will your actions support it?
Absolutely.
Okay, tell us the action that gets you love from your mother currently.
The fact
in this
that
moment.
In this moment, I'm
Scott,
careful.
Scott. Scott. See how present I made you right then to make you see that the actions haven't supported it.
Okay.
So where did you learn to receive love from a woman you're connected to? If all of us here connected to the boy on the inside who needed mom's love differently, how would you feel?
I'm lost at the moment. I'm just confused.
Okay. See, this is the mind's ability to make you think you should know what you don't know, but you should know. But the feeling that's going through your body right now is everybody's paying attention to your connection. It's one of healing, not hurt. You're hurt in this space. Does your mom know that? Does your mom know that you wanted to receive her love differently?
I have no idea. I don't know that I've ever been able to convey that.
So when you weren't able to receive love the way that you needed to from your mom and never spoke up about it, what did you do with the feelings?
No earthly clue.
Are you still connected to the you inside that feels all of that?
My gut is in a knot right now, so I'm going to say yes.
Is it okay if I feel that energy with you? What's in your stomach right now?
Absolutely.
Where was your father?
My father was present working many hours. And I took care of my father for 15 years after a massive stroke.
So you've always taken care of people you're connected to. But when is anybody you're connected to taking care of you?
Never. What? Emotionally, I'm gonna go with never. Other than having to go to special classes and stuff, and parents taking me and things like that. I'm the last of 5 kids, you know.
That's a story. Who are you in your story connected to or disconnected from?
Connected to my closest age brother. Pretty much semi-connected to the rest of the siblings.
So you're experiencing semi-connection to your twin to make sense of that.
Okay, that would make
so
sense to me.
How are you opening up to your twin to let them know you have mistrust in connection?
We haven't had a chance to really sit down and talk about anything. Every night I send unconditional love and respect as a bubble of protection around her and the baby. She does know I do that. I've told her, I says, I've been doing this for a while. You haven't given me permission, but you can always deny it. And even right now, when I've kind of separated myself, given her more space, I do it every night either way, sometimes twice a day.
Scott.
Yeah.
How many times did your head shake now?
I have no idea.
Right. Let's connect to him for a minute, because he missed a connection with he should have had with his mother and his father. In the connection to yourself, where did you learn to open up to a woman you're connected from? How did you open your heart, as broken as it was, to your own mother? When did you do that? Caretaking means that you still abandon how you feel and take care of her. Do you feel your head shaking? Yes.
Yeah, I do.
So you know how to abandon yourself for a woman you're connected to?
Absolutely, I do.
When do you stop doing that?
As soon as I figure out how to do it. And I guess that comes with feeling.
When do you accept how you feel and share it with mom?
Today.
Did you notice she didn't say now?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would make your stomach be in knots, wouldn't it? Do you feel it releasing as you say now? Or are you just afraid to say now?
I think I was just in logic at that point, because it's like, well, when I get back to the house to take care of her tonight, that's when I could do it. But I guess realistically, I could do it now telepathically and just release it within me, and it would go to her.
Releasing it now has nothing to do with telepathy or logic. It has to do with you connecting to the boy inside that feels all of this and accepting him instead of rejecting him, because you taught your twin how to do that.
Okay.
So this really isn't about mom as much as it is about a belief system in you, a thought pattern that shows up in you that says you're not going to be loved by a woman you're connected to, only to make sense of that because of what happened with mom. How are you connected to the boy in you who needs your love, needs your acceptance, needs a connection to you? How deep?
I guess as hard as I try, I guess I'm not. I'm having trouble getting to that point.
Take your right hand and put it over your heart right now. Do you feel how deep you're breathing into this? The feeling.
Yeah.
The feeling you've been telling yourself a story about, but you don't have a story to tell yourself right here in this moment. Not really. And I can feel you, man. It's okay to be hurt. And it's okay to be vulnerable in this space. She wants to love you because that's when she first fell in love with you, when you were completely vulnerable. You came out and screamed into the world in pain. And you might not have had anybody hold you then, but that doesn't mean you can't have somebody hold you right now. You feel This is openness. This is connection. There's not a channel in the world that's going to show you that. But you're finding it right here, right now, because you got to be present with you in order to have connection. And you know this is the truth of what this connection's been trying to give you. See, I see your wing popping out of your backside, and I see it popping out of the other side with every deep breath you're taking, as though you know how to heal your own pain. And when you see your mom tonight, let that little boy come out and just put his arms around her. Let her caretake him. This is how you can start to receive love again. You will open the door to connection. But you got to tell the truth, Scott. You will not let yourself have connection without the truth. Truth is, Mom, I might have told myself I was a burden a little too much. And I'd never let you love this part of me, son. And you tried to overgive it to me when Dad was absent. And I had to explain why you were doing that, and explain half of myself away because he wasn't there. Not your fault. Everything you feel matters. So Scott, you're going to get on that link that Elmo's going to give you here, and I'm going to follow up with you because I want to hear from you.
I would love that.
Connection is real, my friend. I can feel it. You didn't lose your mom and you didn't lose your twin. You lost you. If you don't trust in what you feel, don't worry. You'll make sure they won't either. Telepathy, logic, any of the mind dominance, the mind things that our mind puts us through, it's just that. Being able to navigate that and understand that none of that has anything to do with what you feel. The moment you start thinking, you abandon what you feel. Do you realize that?
I'm sorry, I got distracted. Say that one more time.
The moment you start thinking when you're in feeling is the moment you've abandoned how you feel.
Amen. I can absolutely understand that.
And how often do you think you do that in a 10-second time?
Let me put it this way. My monkey mind is trying to convince myself to grow a damn tail.
Elmo also put that in the chat there. Absolutely. Scott, I'm proud of you.
Well, thank you. I want you to know I binge watched your journey in a full day.
Oh, wow. Oh, I'm so sorry. Talk about finding your vulnerability.
But it gave me so many questions, so much peace, and so much turmoil, all at the same time. But you just saw me popping corn. I think I made like 40 gallons of popcorn while I was listening to you guys. I started at 7 a.m. and went till about 6 o'clock that night. And I even tried to catch Mark over at KKFM and found out he's retired because I'm here in the spring.
Oh, wow, Alan. Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys have meant a lot to me. I mean, and this was like 2 weeks ago. I did this 10 days ago.
Yeah.
It's truly an honor to be able to be on Zoom with you.
Thank you. And we're doing, we're going to do something really, really powerful here in a few weeks during the month of April. We're going to we're changing our model because here's the one thing we know for sure. It's really hard to get people connected without being able to physically be in front of them. We've noticed faster experiences of just letting people come into our energy field. So we're doing retreats that are going to be like root camp on steroids to like almost the 12th power. What that would mean is that your feeling and everything you do feel can be connected to real time with us here, so you can see exactly what you're doing to it by coming into our energy field. Connection is the key. Our planet is not going to heal, and we're not going to heal ourselves if we don't know how to feel.
Yeah.
So we're really going to take 10 people at a time who are ready to do that. And we're going to put them through some very deep healing. Even what you experienced here pales in comparison.
Oh, I can imagine.
The breathing is not as shallow as it really is. And the thing is, you're allowed to heal. You just haven't found permission in your feeling to give that to you. But we know how to do that.
I've done a lot of work, but I'm not, and I know I have a lot more to do.
Well, here's the one thing you know for sure, Scott. When did work ever lead to healing instead of coping?
Yeah.
We don't want you to cope. We want you to heal. That's why we're here. And you heal on the inside, not from some distant experience that you're going to have in this connection, but here right now, you could have that experience and you'd be surprised at how quickly it changes this connection. Everything you feel inside does matter. Your thoughts about it aren't making it that way.
No.
And it's not a simple hack. And it's not a simple experience.
No, it's not.
Elmo will tell you, Elmo's walked through it. As young as he is, he keeps walking through it. And he keeps finding his looping system, keeps reeling him in and saying, no, you're not allowed to do that. There's a feeling in him that see how he just rose up? It was him relaxing, but him also going, yeah, I'm tired of this. Because he knows that there's a feeling in here that allows him to be connected. Kari, the same way, she'll go, I know I bought this connection, I'm in it, and she feels it. And then as soon as the mind says, yeah, but she's like, damn it. Because that's how quickly it happens. Yeah. Everybody here in the chat, even. Everybody here in the chat is like, yeah, I found this connection. I started looking up all this stuff and all of the things matched. And then when I looked at my life, nothing matched. But it did. It matched. But it did. The feeling matched. The thinking didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So Kari and I were sitting there and we were in that space and we're like, no, people need to feel this. Mm-hmm. And Kari, thank you for pushing just a little bit to do it. Oh. She didn't do what she did. She was just like, no, this is important. I felt her in that energy when she said, you know, we're in that feeling space. And this is the space where you want connection. A lot of answers come when you're feeling. They don't come when you're not. And when you're rejecting how you feel, all of the answers you're getting are going to get you more disconnected. Yep. Do you know how to connect to your feelings so you can connect? Good breath.
That's why I'm here. That's what I want to do.
We're really looking for people that are ready to do this, no hesitation. The thing is, we want this to grow, but we don't want it to grow as a channel. We want this to grow as a connection. Mm-hmm. So all 7,000 people that sit here and subscribe to this, if they can actually feel connection, they can create connection, they can change connection, we can heal this shit.
It's a ripple effect.
Yep.
Connection.
Just like it is. In the middle of an ocean, you drop a pebble in it and all the waves go out. We're the pebbles. We're dropping you into your deep. What makes you think it's not going to work is the thinking doing that to you, not the feeling. I love you guys.
Aww, we love you, Lee. Thank you.
But Sherry's in here too. She's always in here. We've been dreaming about what it is we're here to do. Some days we barely get through, but we stay connected to the feeling of knowing why we're here. and why we're going through this. And we've looked at it. And even in illness, there's still this space, even when you're deathly ill or terminally ill, where you feel like the other person deserves better. And I look at her and I say, this is not about me deserving better. This is about me deserving you. And I'm going to stay fucking connected to you, whether you like it or fucking not. Because you didn't bring me all the way here for me to go, fuck this connection.
Yeah.
So we're going to find exactly what's going to heal this. And we're going to see the rippling effect of what even this has done to connection. And we're going to be able to heal that too. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to surrender to all the things that get thrown at you in connection. We're here to go through all that shit so you guys don't have to. That's the fight we're in. That's the fight we're going to win. And all we got to do is get you guys connected to do it. And the only thing that we get as a healing energy exchange out of this is the energy itself is going to create healing. Your feelings matter. We're here to tell you your feelings matter. We're here to connect to your feelings. Whether you've never let anybody do that or not, don't worry, we're going to. We can feel all of you. When we sleep at night, we travel. People always tell us, oh, you were in my dreams. You know, we get out. we can't necessarily leave the vicinity physically, but we can. We have those abilities. We've always had it. We don't sit here and talk to you about all the metaphysical stuff because you don't really need that from us. What you need from us is to understand how you can start seeing and experiencing that more. It starts with you accepting everything you feel. And the things that happen to you and the things that you feel inside, know that you have to accept what you don't want to accept and feeling as well. There is a healing aspect of that. Things that have happened to you have rippled throughout your life, and you've been making your choices from your hurt. When do you make choices from your love? I love all of the breathing.
That's the truth right now. That
How deep we have to sit and feel everything.
Yeah.
You're allowed to feel. You've been living a life not telling yourself you've been allowed to feel. You've been too busy in your head.
Yep. Yeah. It's
Not
beautiful.
anymore.
I feel like it's beautifully overwhelming to be in your feelings sometimes. It's just, it's a lot, but it's just beautiful.
Well, did you hear the baby? The baby.
Yeah.
No. Children, listen. If we could all be children again, we would all been humming just then. It would have been like that perfect unison of humming when it goes to your feelings. But your feelings haven't really mattered much because you were taught to think. When were you taught to feel? And I'll keep saying that until I'm blue in the face. Because connection is about feeling, not about thought. And if you are too stuck in your head to feel that, start there. That's your first step. This connection doesn't want what you think. This connection wants what you feel. And I know you've been on this planet so long, nothing ever wanted you that way. And I'm sorry that happened. But we can change it. All of us. Starts with how you accept how you feel inside yourself. Everything you feel matters. And if you're not making it matter, nobody's going to stop you. Because they're stuck in their heads too. Connection isn't about thought. I'm sorry, it's just not. It's not about 7 steps to this. It's not about 3 steps to that. It's not about what separation is. It's not about the mind bullshit. It's about what you feel. And who makes what you feel important if you're not? And nobody's going to stop you from rejecting yourself until you found this channel. Enough is enough. And I get it. I'm saying things that you can feel, and I'm talking to your feeling side, because your feeling side is what's most important in this connection, not your thoughts. And I get it. We've seen some very destructive minds that really just kind of keep the whole boundary, protective, safe system alive. But have you noticed, when you need to protect yourself, it's only because you got hurt. And when did you heal that hurt and then protect yourself?
Never. Exactly.
Everybody shares that never in common until you find this channel, until you find us. The key to the inside of your never is what you feel, not what you think about it. You're allowed to feel that again, and you're allowed to heal that feeling. And you're allowed to share that feeling here on this channel, and we're going to absorb it so you can transmute it and create something different out of it. I changed my story, and I was a son of a bitch, and I was completely in my head. So I get it. But I also spent thousands of hours sitting and paying attention to connection to understand it, just so I could help heal things that people didn't know they could heal. How you feel matters. And I'm sorry that nobody's telling me that when it comes to this connection.
Yet here you are telling the whole world that we don't have to protect ourselves anymore.
Protection is nothing more than you containing hurt.
And not feeling it, not letting yourself feel it.
Actually, it's letting everybody else feel your hurt and keeping you blocked. And then when somebody physically blocks you on the outside, you think it's them doing that to you. Meanwhile, on the inside, you've had a dialogue that says, I can't open up about this because I got hurt. If you don't open up, how do you heal your hurt? You don't need protection. You don't need safe, guys. Sorry, it's a box. Boundary is nothing more than a line you put between the love that you could receive and the love you could give. When did that ever heal anything?
It's not a transaction. It's not what can I get? What can I give? It's not gonna run out.
You're not telling yourself the truth. You're telling yourself a bunch of things that you believe are the truth. But when you go digging into somebody's truth, you'll find more times than not the truth is not even close to what it really is. You're protecting yourself. You're keeping a belief system in you alive that should have died a long time ago.
How do I let it die?
By falling in love with it. By realizing you should have never let something go you should have embraced. You want people to hold on to how you feel, but you think you've got to let go. How's that going to work in receiving love if you got to let go? You give them nothing to hold on to when you let go. You haven't made sense of that because the mind itself doesn't understand the logic of feeling anything. The mind showed up when you stopped feeling. When did you return back to the feeling? When did you return back to the real you?
Now.
Brilliant. I felt that too. How many of them didn't say no? How many of them are watching this even on a replay and going, when do I? And not even paying attention to how often we're not saying now, when that's all we've ever had. You can't escape this moment. You've had this one continuous moment. We think life is a succession of moments when it's only been one. You're still in the moment of birth and you still haven't connected to yourself. How's that not the truth?
Yeah.
You can't escape. You can't try.
The mind won't let you see that you're still in the same moment. the moment of your birth, the moment of your pain, the moment of everything that's ever happened to you. You're still in that moment. But if you, yesterday is automatically a removal of time, a removal from you from what you feel, and literally abandons everything you felt now. Good breath. Aliveness is found in how you stay connected to what you feel now. Would you ever have somebody connect to you if you're not feeling you now?
It'd be really hard to.
I'll meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, where did you go?
Well, where are you? Yeah, exactly.
That's literally and the connection. Nobody's pointing to that. There's a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to, if you want to go into union, if you want to go to the future, is already abandoning you now. See how hard, see how easy it is to be escaping union with yourself or with anyone else if you're not accepting everything you feel right this second. Who are you wanting them to connect to if you're doing that to you?
God, can I ask you to bring your child into the space? I'm kind of.
Yeah, I'll see. Yeah, I'll see if I can round him up because he's an active one.
I think she's talking about the child in you, Kari. Bring the child.
Look at that one too.
Baby shower. Bring both.
What have I missed in chat? Have I missed anything?
There's no questions, just love.
Okay.
Just big love.
Yeah.
Good.
I have really, really experienced a lot of connection over time. It's really present. Connection is. I remember when we told our journey and we're talking about the spaces we found ourselves in. It's so interesting to watch even our evolution on this channel of how we kept vulnerability as the key to our connection. You can't have union without vulnerability inside, right? Your ability to give and receive love, true love, is in vulnerability. Unconditional love is the mind's reactive experience of that love. And the conditions get met more than the unconditions. What does that mean? Scott was talking to us earlier about his experience with his mom on the day he was born and how he was taken away. The way he's told the story isn't the way he felt when he came into this world and took his first breath. He literally gets to escape that because of the story he got from a woman he's connected from. So a woman he's connected from took him away from his connection to himself, or does his connection to himself still exist?
It should.
Should. Is that what you said?
All right, so I should all over myself. I'm sorry.
So we all did. When we first all came through that threshold, we all did.
Yeah.
But then we take that first breath of air, not on the cord anymore. We cut the cord. We think the connection's gone. The connection gets stronger after you cut a cord. Duh. Well, let's go get some cord cutting, shall we? Yeah, let's make the connection stronger. I know how to exist after they cut the cord. I've done it once, I can do it again. Now I can't remove my belief system believing that I can disconnect. You're going against nature. When did we get to change the rules of nature? Only to realize we're subjected to them time and time again because we believe in time, not each other. We believe in time instead of believing in connection. Time is our greatest disconnect in connection. Connection doesn't know what time it is. Let that go, Scott. 27 or 30. Let it go. Be the boy who embraces and embodies connection to both of them. What have you got to lose? Have you tried that yet?
I thought so, but apparently not.
When did thinking ever connect you to anyone or anything?
You know what? You can bite your tongue now. I get it.
Hey, connection always got to speak connection. And when I realized that connection didn't really have a voice, I said, use me. I believe everything is connected for a reason.
Amen.
Everything, even our disconnects. Our disconnects occur to the point of where we felt we were disconnected from, but never the truth about what we felt. And I realized that too needs healing. I love letting connection speak through me. Watched a great many people heal through it. What a gift. It was interesting. We had a coach, and she said to me, you and Sherry are the embodiment of connection. And I said, what does that mean? She says, you don't get that? And I said, no. She says, when you sit in your energy field, you can feel it. Even if we're watching what you guys have been through, or we're just experiencing the present moment with you, there's a feeling that's there, a feeling where we know where home is. And it's not a home that we have in you, it's a home we have in ourselves that we didn't even really connect to in a way that we knew that it would bring connection into our lives, but we're afraid of it. And you two don't seem to be afraid of it. I said, because when you're not afraid of your vulnerability anymore, everything changes in connection. I love Scott's. Scott.
Yeah.
And then you look around like, wait for the mind. The mind's going to get activated. Be like, yeah, but your vulnerability is right. It's always going to be a story. That is Sherry's medicine, Colin. Hey guys, you guys like these soul chats? Do you like the experience of them?
Incredible.
Make sure that you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you guys keep reaching out for us. We're still talking 30 minutes. We're really still embracing connection in very deep ways. It's a very interesting week. We both went to the hospital this week, but we both came through it. And then we both looked at each other and said, connection is growing. As dark as some things may be, everything that powers the stars in the sky has darkness in between. What makes you think that's not connection too? Trust your darkness as much as you trust your light.
Darkness may be part of the man I am now. The good parts.
All parts. The moment you get out of the good, the moment you've let go of judgment, the more you've changed. And you then power the universe. Your power is found in the darkness in the universe, not the light.
Yeah.
So what you're saying in the dark needs to be changed for it to show up in the light. That goes back to that financial thing, that goes back to this connection, that goes back to everything that you're saying on the inside matters. And you come here, you tell me, I will listen to you in the space that you didn't even know you needed to listen to yourself. We both will. Stop running from this connection. Not the one to the other person, but the one to yourself. There's a you in there that feels everything. How are you connected to him or her? or both? Because everybody's got both. So there anybody here on the thing here? Let's see. Hello, everyone. We love you guys, and thank you for taking time. Elmo, thank you for posting that link. I've tried cutting cords, been in the dynamic for 11 years. Met when we were young. He pushed me away, so I ran. He always comes back and confuses me. I'm with someone and have 3 kids now. Amber, let's do a 30 minutes. We want you to stop running. So how do we stop feeling failure and success? Stop fearing failure. Fear. Is fear a thought program or a feeling one? And the thought program gets activated by a feeling? Yes, connect the dots. A feeling arises in the body. The mind takes it and creates the fear from it based on a past moment when you felt that before. The feeling's always been there. It's just how it shows up in you now. Goes into thinking, and the thinking starts aggravating the feeling all over again. Standing between you and your fear. Fear isn't real. In the present moment, the feeling itself needs to be accepted more fully. The thoughts about it will just keep creating something that time disconnects you from. This is how we keep repeating what happened in the past and the future and making ourselves miserable in the present. Fear isn't real. How much power are you giving your thinking versus how much energy are you sitting in your feeling? Right here, right now. What do you really fear? Will be what you have to physically go touch in the future. How's that real again? Can you physically touch the future?
No.
Only in the now.
So what is fear?
I don't even.
The mind game. It's you haven't healed this feeling in the past, so I'm going to make you suffer in the future. You can heal that right now. The feeling represents everything that you have accepted or didn't accept. When something bad happened to you back then, how did you embrace the feeling? You didn't. And if you didn't, you keep creating fear. Make sense? Oh, look who it is. Hi.
Hi.
Look.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody.
We're on YouTube and everybody said, look at that. See? Look at how happy she is. She felt me.
Hey, Sherry.
Hi, baby. You on your way?
Yeah.
Okay. I love you. I'm going to get off from here now. I'll get off. I know. I was telling about all the exciting, wonderful things that we're going through.
Oh, just don't sneeze.
I didn't sneeze. All right. I love you. I'll call you right back.
Okay, bye.
Bye. See, interesting how we talk fear and I go deep into the feeling and then she calls. Real-time experiences have real-time awakenings. I embraced my fear. That's kind of how we found a way to communicate with each other telepathically. When you accept the feeling and remove fear, it opens the connection. Choosing fear closes it. That's where you're running. All right. We love you guys. Kari, you
Yeah.
in?
Yes.
Do you want me to? Okay, I'll send you the info and let's get you going. Elmo, I know we've got a session coming soon. Scott, I cannot wait to help you get connected to you so you can hear.
I will follow that link.
Yes, absolutely. And all of you that are out there watching, if you guys need Lee and Sherry, you're really struggling in your connection, don't forget, we also have coaches. We have people who want to train for this. But if you really want connection, welcome home. Welcome home.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. You guys have no idea what this means to us. We go for years. We make our mistakes. We hurt. We've gone through not believing in ourselves. We've gone through the confidence. We've gone through all of the bullshit. We had to. We had to go through hurt in many different ways. Here's the way you look at it. Had you not hurt, you wouldn't be here with me right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Amen.
So thank your hurt for bringing you. When has your hurt ever been a thank you? It is now.
It is now, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.